Now in this video, we will discuss about another important measurement technology that is called Geographical Information System. Now you might be wondering how GIS can be considered as a measurement technology. So we will understand how the GIS can be utilized for information to be received from the field and doing the further processing of that information. So, what is the importance of GIS to the electrical utility? So, GIS provides a set of tools to perform specific set of operations on map and attribute data. So, if you remember the single line diagram which we see in the SCADA, that single line diagram shows only the lines and there is no spatial information available in that SCADA diagram. So what will happen in that case, if the feeder line which is shown in the SCADA data is faulty, we cannot find out the actual location of that feeder line in the field because that information is not available in the single line diagram. But if that single line diagram is superimposed on the geographical information system, or that is the map which you get as an output of that GIS activity, and if that map shows all the electrical assets, we can immediately figure out the actual location in the field where the problem related to the power transmission or the distribution is happening. So the GIS provides a set of tools to perform a specific set of operations on map and attribute data. It integrates land-based and electrical network maps. So we lay the all electrical assets on top of the land-based map so that we can understand the location of various assets deployed in the field. It has accurate up-to-date information of the network assets. So the moment we deploy a new asset, that corresponding location of that asset has to be updated on the map. Improving system visualization by associating spatial data with the network elements is possible using the GIS maps. So using maps, we can easily find out the location of the asset which may be having some problem, and immediately the crew members can be alerted with the precise location of the asset so that the crew members can be located to that location in least time. It connects the database information such as load flow, network assets, consumers information, billing, material account, distribution analysis, and outage reporting of the power utility. So the GIS map will show the electrical assets located in the field, and then the transmission lines, cables, and so on will also be further connected on the map. And when we will run the load flow or maybe any other network optimization algorithm, the output of that can be further connected on the GIS map. So in that case, the load flow data can be shown on the map. So in that case, if the line is overloaded, color of the flow of the line will be changed in such a way that it can be easily visible from that map itself. So similar kind of activities can be done for various assets which are deployed in the field, or maybe we can just click the location of the customer and get the information of that customer, including his billing history, or we can count the assets and materials which are deployed in the field. We can further do the distribution system analysis using the various GIS map activities, or in the field where is the outage happening can be easily traced using the GIS maps. So it allows the simultaneous assessment of technical, financial, and environmental factors. So technical in the sense that it can trace the fault and its impact in the downstream, and how many customers will be impacted because of that fault can be easily seen using that GIS map. We can also trace the financial activities of the customer, such as its electricity bill payment history and so on. And you can also lay over the environmental factors, say the vegetation and so on, which will help in doing the maintenance of the various electrical assets. Say, for example, if we know that the vegetations which are below a particular transmission line, and we know that the growth of that vegetation with time, we can schedule the proper trimming of those vegetations before it is actually hitting the transmission line. So such kind of activities can be done by just looking at the GIS map and the growth of various environmental factors. Planning the transmission line and disaster management can also be carried out with the help of GIS maps. Now, let's see how the GIS maps are developed. So basically the GIS is nothing but a layered structure. So base layer is the imagery data which we receive from the satellite, or we trace it manually using the survey team. So the base will be your imagery data. On top of that, we deploy the elevation details, and then maybe the transportation detail if it is required. And on top of that, we will have the address layers to locate the various consumers, and then we can even locate the various boundaries that can be the political boundaries or maybe the electrical boundaries based on the application of the GIS. We may also add the water features such as rivers, ponds, lakes, and so on in the GIS map. So after having the basic layered information available, we can further lay the electrical assets and other elements which are part of our survey control. So in that layer, we can deploy the location of the substations, location of various transformers or the transmission lines and cables. Even we can add the location of poles, location of consumer, and the location of smart meters in the field. Now, after locating the assets, we can use the data which we receive from the field and overlay that data on the GIS map so that the information can be integrated with the field assets. So this is a typical GIS map for a power system network where you will see there various entities being shown on the GIS map, such as service point or joint or fuse or LT cable, ST cable, bus bar, and so on. So if you see in this map, there are various activities we can easily figure out. Say the red one is the area where blackout have happened because of certain fault. So if you see the plain single line diagram, it is very difficult to locate the geography where this fault have actually occurred. But if you see this information overlaid on the GIS map, you can easily figure out that where actually this problem have happened, and immediately you can schedule the movement of your crew members to that location for the maintenance. You can even trace the flow of the line also using various data you receive from the field. How the GIS can be considered as a data acquisition system? From GIS, we can receive the terrain information, we can receive the locations of various assets deployed in the field, we can get the alerts on the fault location, as we saw in the previous figure. We can get the information about the disaster approaching the area by overlaying the weather information on the GIS map. We can receive the status update of various field devices using GIS map. Buffering can be utilized to determine the proximity relationship between the features. That means that you keep on updating the data which you receive from the field. So in that scenario, you can create the relationship between various assets. So for example, if you are seeing the voltage change in one bus bar with respect to other bus bar, you can correlate how the voltage variation is happening in two different geographies. So that kind of information can be extracted with the help of GIS map. It will help the layering of various informations which we want to show on the GIS map. Now let's see how the GIS database development happens. So first activity is digitization process where the GPS survey of electrical consumer and network assets is carried out. So for that the GPS handheld device is utilized to capture the longitude latitude of the electrical consumer premises and the various network assets. The digitization of electrical network assets is carried out, and then the GIS mapping, indexing of electrical consumers and network assets on the GIS map is carried out. Data collection. So in this activity, we will use the adequate number of GPS receivers for capturing the required information. Surveyors will walk along the assets to capture the spatial position. So if you want to trace the cable or the transmission line, the surveyors will walk along the transmission line or cable and keep on capturing the coordinates of various points along the transmission line or cable, and then this data will be added on the GIS map for showing the location of the transmission line. The surveying team will also collect various attribute data, say for example the rating of the transformer, make of the transformer, type of the transformer, and so on. So the attribute information will also be captured by the surveying team, and this will be added in the GIS map. The digital base map is the important map which will be used as a base layer, and this will show the important landmarks for better visualization of the details which we have captured from the field.